if you look back through some of my other videos, you will see that I had a problem with the Nordwest starter motor, and this was completely worn out. The commutator was worn out, and these were all coming out of the ends and all sorts of problems, and it was very, very weak. And so at the time I couldn't find a replacement starter motor. They were all at the sources. I looked on eBay and I looked around, and I found another guy on eBay that was selling some other stuff, and I asked him if he had a starter motor. He said no, but he did put me in touch with a guy in Germany who sent me one. But in the meantime, I'd already sent this off to get it rewound, and it was kind of too late to get it back. So anyway, here it is back, and I thought I would just put it all back together and yeah, make sure it works. No reason why it shouldn't, but I'm very pleased with it. It's very shiny, and my guess is this will now make a better starter motor than the one I got. So yeah, I'm just going to keep it as a spare for now. Possibly sell it, who knows, though I'm not very good at selling things. So the first thing I'm going to do is, they also sent me, I asked them if they had any brushes, and they also sent me some brand new brushes, which is really nice. So you can see, as well as the commutator being worn out, the brushes were yeah, quite a long way worn out too. So I've got 4 brushes, and these are soldered on. I'm hoping these wires are long enough. Are they going to be long enough? They're just a little bit shorter. I hope that's not a problem. So we'll do these one at a time. So how does this go in? With the wire like that. How do I hold this spring out of the way? A little hooky thing. So hook this out of the way. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Hook the spring out of the way, put the brush in. Come on. What I don't know what I'm going to do is how to hold these all out of the way while I reassemble it, but I'll figure that out in a minute. Come on. It's not that hard, surely. Just a little fiddly. Stay out of the way, spring. There. You are the right size, aren't you? Yes. Yes, perfect. Okay, so solder the first one on. Oh, I see. Yeah, this is going to be quite fiddly, but anyway, let's get it soldered on. Maybe I should... No, I've got to solder them on. I've got to solder them on first. Let's get him soldered on. This might not have enough wattage, this iron, because there's a lot of heat to get into this plate. But having said that, I did unsolder it with this iron. There we go. Okay, one. Oh, this one's going to be interesting because the... is there a join in here? There must be a join. not so easy. So there are two brushes that solder onto the plate and two that have joins in them. You wouldn't believe actually I have cleaned a lot of the carbon off this thing, but it's still covering me in brush dust. And this plate's still hot. Okay, one. This brush is actually broken. So at least I can get this other one on now quite easily. Should be able to. I'm not doing a very good job of framing this, am I? Oh, I'll pick that up in a second. Still not hot enough yet. Nearly. There we go. And don't move it while it's cooling down. Wow, that brush is hot. Ow! Okay, two. So these two, I'll put it over there to cool down. These two, there must be hopefully there's a join under this sleeve somewhere. How can I get that rolled back enough? That's the question. I know there's a joint right there. I can't scrunch this up enough to get it. Come on, how can I? I really don't want to have to unsolder the whole thing, but I'll cut the tie wraps. Okay, well, I didn't think this was going to take this long. But anyway. Right. Now, can I get what goes where? I know there was this washer, this insulating washer, it was on the end there, I knew that. So I gave up with it last night, and I'm back again today. This is the next day. I've cleaned off some of them. My hands are slightly less dirty. I went and watched the video of me taking it apart, and I'm glad I did, because while you weren't looking, I started to just do a little bit more of the reassembly again, and I've put it together wrong already. And the problem is, I have screwed these two long studs that go all the way through the motor. I've put them in completely the wrong way around. So I'm really pleased I went to have a look, because that would have been a bit of a problem. And I also found one of the washers that I had kicking around in this tin was kind of needed too. So I'll be checking on that in a minute as well. So these studs, well, I'll show you in a second. Take them out. Do not go this collar piece on the end. This piece does not go up this end, they go in the other way around, because they hold this plate in place. And the other thing I just wanted to check was that I'd got that, yeah, that washer was the other piece that I'd missed. So I missed that washer off. I'll put that back on. Right, so this plate goes on here and is held in place by these two. Take these nut. Yeah, take this nut off. I'll just do it in the vise. So this collar on the end holds this plate in place. I couldn't figure out how I knew how far to let this go through, and well, this is the answer. That I don't think that needs to be particularly tight. So that makes that a whole lot easier with those in there first. I'll just do them up in the vise. Yeah, so that makes a lot more sense. Motor, armature in. So that's planetary gears, so it doesn't turn very well from that end, it turns fine from that end. Then the O-ring. So yeah, I think I was rushing a bit last night, I think, trying to get this done. Where's the location piece there? So that goes like this. like that. So now I just need to do the same thing I did last night with popping these springs just out of the way to let the brushes out of the way. Cleaner hands, not much. I had a quick Google around to see if I could find any tips or any other ways of doing it, but I've decided, I didn't see this idea, but I've decided to try and wedge the brushes open with, so leave the springs in place, and I'm going to try to wedge the brushes open with a tie wrap, the tapered pointy bit of a tie wrap to hold it away. It's only got to stay there a few seconds while I slip the thing over the commutator. But quick Google around, and lots of people have said, oh, I spent hours doing it. Not this particular motor, but in motors in general. Like, yeah, I spent hours doing it, and I have spent a good amount of time doing this now. A bigly amount of time doing this. So I want to try and get these in a place where I know I can get them out again. This bottom part seems to be the only real place, but there. The last spring. All I can say is, in the factory where they make these things, they must have had some clever jig or something. Right, so okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that it? I'd feel a lot happier if I could make it turn, but as far as I can tell, oh, rubber ring. we think? Well, do this up. Brush plate, brush holder, screws. So should I ever do one of these again, that would be the way to do it. And that piece goes in there. And these are from something else, or these other bolts. Am I going to test it? Of course I'm going to test it. Got some jump leads. How do I... Is that going to... It's the easiest way to get a contact on that. Or maybe I'll touch the earth on. That's what I'll do, yeah. So connect the positive up first. I still have the battery that I took off the bike that I thought was duff. But of course, well, it may be, we'll find out in a second. So plus is this one. Plus. And then minus on the case. What do we think? Whoa! Wow. Is that it? I'm not going to put it on the bike to try it, but I think that's a success. Right, this that took me like 2 hours, something stupid. I don't know what. I'm going to have to edit this video down quite a lot, but there we go. There's a spare for the spare. That's quite warm already, that side. Yeah, spare starter motor for Gilera Nordwest. If you're desperate for one, I might sell it, but I suspect you're not. So yeah, there we go. Thanks for watching. See you on the next project, whatever that may be. Thank you. Bye bye.